Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about hiring and interviews, and specifically hiring interviews under pressure. So if you're in any hiring position, whether you are a founder or hiring manager or recruiter or HR personnel, and your boss or your investors or your business basically needs you to hire a lot of people very fast, what's going to happen very naturally is that you're going to try to lower your standards a little bit to make everybody fit your hiring needs. If you're too selective and let's say your number of your applicants doesn't increase, then you're just going to struggle. So that's what you're going to do. It's a very natural thing, and it's not necessarily a bad thing in the short term. But one thing when it turns bad is basically when you have a good candidate that you are interviewing, and you are basically kind of mesmerized by his or her profile from the beginning, and kind of biasly you already made a decision that this candidate might be right for you, and you use the interview time to try to pitch the company and the project to the candidate rather than screening. And you in that way you ignore any red flags that might pop up. And the thing is that these red flags never disappear even after the candidate is hired. And we've had or I've had some experiences when we hire candidates that I was very impressed by the candidates, let's say either CV or first screening, to the point that that bias leads me to push for the candidate to get hired rather than keep, let's say, some sort of screening in place and some sort of judgment to try and really figure out if this person is a fit. So what happened with one particular candidate, for example, is that they had a very good first impression with me, and then they went to the technical task. And then during the technical task, they delayed the task. They didn't reply on time. And then we we went forward with the next round. And then there, the impression from the team was like meh, basically not great, not bad either. But then when we made the offer again, there was a lot of delay. There was a lot of gap in kind of going back and forth. And it wasn't very transparent what was going on. And then we end up hiring the candidate, but within weeks, both sides realized that it just wasn't a fit. And this is one example, but there are a lot of cases where you as a hiring manager or hiring person kind of fall under the pressures of your environment, so be it your boss, investors again, or your business needs that you need to hire very fast. The interview becomes kind of a sales pitch more than an interview, where not just you as a company, but also the candidate are both figuring out if this is going to work out for both of us. And you know, if you're in that position, if you're in that higher position, you always need to be mindful of that, no matter what the hiring pressures are, because again, like a bad hire will not make up for your pressures. It will not solve your problem. If anything, you will lose a lot of time. You lose the candidate's time, and it's not a great place to be. So use the interview for screening, not for selling. If the candidate is already applying, there means that there is some sort of interest. Of course, spend some time during the interview to explain what the role is and to get them excited about the role. But also do the due diligence. So never forget about the due diligence, regardless of the circumstances.